Throughout our entire lives, the core Islamic values of faith, compassion, and righteousness act as a compass to guide us in the correct direction. The lessons found in the Quran and Sunnah have an impact on a person's capacity to successfully lead a life that is fulfilling in terms of social, moral, and spiritual dimensions. It is crucial to look into the value of diversity and having an inclusive mindset in the context of Islam. The significance of respecting and valuing individual differences as the many cultures, languages, and customs that Allah has deftly infused into human society is emphasized in our religious teachings. The diversity among us not only serves as an example of the wonders that Allah has created, but it also reinforces the bonds that bind our communities together. It is crucial that, in line with Islamic values, we see our differences as a chance for understanding one another and for our own personal development. It is critical that a cordial and cooperative working relationship be maintained. This essay will examine the importance of personal responsibility within the context of Islam, realizing that each person is accountable for their own acts and the effects those actions have on society, the environment, and themselves is, in our opinion, one of the most essential tenets of our faith. This feeling of accountability promotes a conscientious lifestyle where we try to keep in mind our obligations to Allah, to ourselves, and to the communities where we decide to carry out our business endeavors. In addition to making apologies for our transgressions, it is our duty to put forth every effort to reach our full potential and lead meaningful lives. Think about the stance that Islam takes on matters concerning harmony and peace. The peace precepts that are deeply embedded in our faith have an impact on how we approach conflict resolution as well as how we live with one another. Islam's teachings tell us to actively look for amicable solutions to conflicts, to extend forgiveness to others, and to actively try to bring people together whenever there is a disagreement. As people interact socially, the maintenance of peace is essential to both the general health of the community and the growth of positive relationships between those individuals. The act of extending an invitation to others to convert to Islam, or dawah, is a manifestation of the missionary spirit and openness that characterize our practice of faith. The act of disseminating Islamic teachings by leading a life consistent with the values prescribed by the faith is referred to as dawah, and discussing Islam. This is an invitation to share the deep understanding, compassion, and respect that are associated with Islam in order to draw attention to the many wonderful qualities that Islam possesses. Islam places a strong emphasis on environmental stewardship and supports the adoption of proactive conservation measures. We greatly respect the natural world and acknowledge that it is our responsibility to preserve it. Our religious convictions are the source of this respect. Here are some instances of excellent stewardship. Following sustainable methods, safeguarding biodiversity, and making responsible use of resources. Developing an interest in environmental preservation is one way to show respect for Allah's creation and to help the earth and its inhabitants. Consider the value that Islam places on establishing social justice and the well-being of the community. To better understand this point, we are forced to dedicate ourselves to improving social justice, fighting for equality, and changing society because of our unwavering commitment to our faith. We have to dedicate ourselves because of this. It is crucial to advance oppressed people's rights and equality of opportunity. The teachings of Islam state that we have an obligation to actively combat injustice, stand up for the rights of the oppressed, and support initiatives that aim to better society and provide equal opportunities for everyone to succeed. Finally, but just as importantly, we must remain receptive to new ideas, practice self-analysis, and resolve to live up to the high moral standards that Islam promoted. Our heartfelt hope and prayer is that these lessons will uplift us, motivate us to act, and provide us the means to contribute significantly to society. We ask Allah to grant us the discernment to do what is right, the bravery to live according to His teachings, and the compassion to show all living things how much He loves and cares for them. Let it really be realized. In fact, Shukr, which means an act of gratitude expressed by Muslims, is one of the central ideas of Islam. This has the effect of changing our outlook and making us want to acknowledge and be grateful for all the blessings that Allah has given us in our lives. Rather than suggesting a lack of activity, gratitude inspires us to actively serve Allah and His creation by utilizing the tools He has provided for us. As a result, our religious convictions are reinforced, and we are able to live happier and more contented lives. Remember the value of sabr or patience at all times when faced with challenging situations. According to Islamic teachings, genuine patience includes the capacity to welcome hardship with hope and confidence, while putting one's trust in Allah's guidance and wisdom. It also includes the ability to endure hardship. Our resilience is bolstered and our faith is reinforced whenever we make an attempt to trust in the divine plan. Consider the Muslim perspective, which holds that the family is the main source of social support in a community. Families provide the best nurturing environment possible for an individual's social, moral, and spiritual development, which is why they are highly esteemed. Islam holds that the family is a very important institution that should be respected greatly. Its role is to protect and raise the children of the Ummah. This has given the family a sacred status as a result. Apart from that, the religion also emphasizes the importance of close relationships between family members. Zakat is one of the ways you show that we are committed to promoting social justice and compassion. In Islamic doctrine, this is regarded as one of the most essential guidelines. Zakat is a manifestation of the core Islamic values of generosity and compassion for the less fortunate, since it entails the redistribution of communal resources. This lessens poverty and fosters the growth of social cohesion. Islam recognizes the value of community cohesion, which is something that needs to be respected. Muslims should uphold their unity and support one another in accordance with the teachings of their faith. Muslims are always ready to lend a helping hand to one another, regardless of how good the situation may be. These are the ways in which they demonstrate the kindness and generosity that are central to Islam. This phenomenon serves to strengthen the Ummah's overall unity. Consider the cultural and religious significance of Islamic art and architecture. To name just one example, magnificent representations of Islamic architecture and artwork of the greatest caliber we feel a sense of pride and fulfillment. When we think about our cultural and historical heritage, because we know that we practice Islam, we not only have a deep respect for everything that Allah has created, but we also actively work to unite people and fortify the ties that bind our community together. It is highly recommended for practitioners of tafakkur, a contemplative and mindfulness practice, to integrate it into their everyday routines. The aim of this practice is to help people reflect on the amazing things that Allah is the creator of and the importance of their own existence, contemplation, and lead to a deeper understanding of spirituality, a greater respect for the divine, and the ability to live more purposeful and mindful lives, to name a few benefits of the practice. Ultimately, let us set out to successfully apply Islamic values to all aspects of our lives, demonstrate a deep sense of empathy, and assume a substantial degree of responsibility, in addition to expanding our knowledge and providing us with guidance. Our prayers and hopes are that these lessons will enable us to positively influence not only the communities that surround us, but also communities far larger than ourselves. I pray that Allah gives us the understanding to recognize and be grateful for the gifts He has given us, the strength to stay strong in the face of difficulty, and the compassion to give our whole selves to serving your creation. Let it really be realized in reality.